Welcome back. Education and gender access, curriculum bias, gendered learning experiences. Education is a critical site where gender inequalities are both reproduced and resisted, shaping who enters, stays, and succeeds in formal learning spaces across the life course. Access, curriculum content, and everyday classroom practices together construct gendered learning experiences that either reinforce patriarchal norms or open up possibilities for transformation and equality. Gendered access to education. Access to education is structured by intersecting axes of gender, class, race, caste, location, and disability, leading to differentiated opportunities for girls, boys, and gender diverse learners. Global evidence shows that while gender parity has improved at primary level in many countries, gaps persist at secondary and higher secondary stages, especially for girls from poor, rural, and marginalized communities who face early marriage, domestic labor burdens, and safety concerns. In India, recent data indicate near parity in primary enrollment. Almost half of girls aged 16 to 17 remain out of school, revealing sharp drop off at the upper secondary level despite policy commitments to universalization. The National Education Policy NEP 2020 responds by aiming for 100% gross enrollment ratio by 2030 and establishing measures like Gender Inclusion Fund to support equitable access and retention for girls and other gender marginalized learners. Barriers to access operate at multiple levels. At the household level, discriminatory norms often privilege boys' education and normalize girls' unpaid domestic work, limiting their time and continuity in schooling. At the institutional and policy levels, inadequate sanitization facilities for girls, unsafe transport, lack of scholarships, and limited proximity of secondary schools, particularly in rural areas, compound exclusion and push many adolescent girls out of the system. Curriculum bias and gendered stereotypes. Curriculum and textbooks function as powerful tools of socialization, communicating implicit messages about whose knowledge and experiences matter. Studies of school textbooks in India and other countries show that visual images and narratives often depict men in public professional roles and women in domestic, caring, and peripheral positions, thereby naturalizing occupational segregation and unequal power relations. Content analysis using feminist critical discourse analyses demonstrate that social science and language textbooks frequently remain androcentric, marginalizing women's contributions, minimizing feminist struggles, and failing to represent diverse gender identities. Such representational gaps limit students' critical reflection on gender inequality and constrain girls' aspirations by presenting narrow models of appropriate femininity and masculinity. Curriculum bias is not limited to presence or absence of female figures, but also extends to how knowledge is framed, whose voices are centered, and which issues are normalized as universal. STEM curricula, for instance, rarely problematize the gendered history of science and technology, while social science curricula may treat patriarchal family arrangements as natural, thereby reinforcing heteronormativity and cisnormativity and leaving queer and transgender experiences unrecognized. Pedagogy and gendered learning experiences. Now, gendered learning experiences are shaped by everyday pedagogical practices, teacher expectations, peer culture, and hidden curriculum embedded in school routines. Classroom observations in Indian and other contexts show that teachers often unconsciously allocate caring or cleaning tasks such as sweeping and tidying to girls while assigning leadership or public tasks like maintaining discipline or running errands outside the classroom to boys, thereby signaling different spheres of responsibility and authority. Teachers' stereotypical beliefs about girls' and boys' abilities significantly affect learning outcomes and self confidence. Evidence from secondary schools in India indicate that biased teachers who systematically underestimate girls' potential in mathematics and science contribute to widening gender gaps in test scores and eventually in subject choice and career trajectories. Such biases are often implicit, operating through subtle variations in feedback, encouragement, and opportunities to participate rather than through overt discrimination. The hidden curriculum, informal norms, jokes, and everyday interactions also carry strong gender messages. Studies in engineering and other male dominated programs show that sexiest banter, exclusion from informal networks, and normalization of masculine cultures can erode women students' sense of belonging, increase their stress, and influence their decisions to leave or avoid certain fields. For transgender and non binary students, cis-normative school environments that deny their identities or fail to provide safe spaces further undermine educational engagement and well being. Policy responses and transformative practices. Recent policy frameworks emphasize the need to confront gender stereotypes in education, not only through access interventions, but also through curriculum reform, teacher education, and school level practices. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, shortly known as OECD, strength through diversity project document policies across countries that revise curricula, develop gender sensitive teaching materials, train educators, and implement whole school programs to challenge gender norms from early childhood onwards. In the Indian context, NEP 2020 underlines equitable and inclusive education and calls for gender inclusion across curricula, pedagogy, and governance, including Gender Inclusion Fund and support for girls and transgender learners from the marginalized backgrounds. Scholars note, however, that without explicit gender responsive guidelines and monitoring, textbook restructuring and policy commitments may not sufficiently transform entrenched patriarchal norms in classrooms and communities. Transformative practices in schools and teacher education include integrating gender perspective across subjects, not confining them to standalone chapters or value educational modules. Teacher education curricula also increasingly urged to adopt a strong gender lens so that future teachers can critically examine their own biases, understand intersectionality, and design inclusive classrooms that represent diverse genders, castes, religions, and abilities. Towards gender just learning environments. Creating gender just learning environments requires moving beyond numerical parity to focus on the quality of participation, safety, agency, and recognition experienced by students of all genders. This involves rethinking school infrastructure like safe toilets, secure transport, and accessible campuses, revising assessment practices that privilege certain forms of knowledge and expression, and actively involving students and communities to dialogue about gender norms and rights. Interventions that foreground girls' voices, such as gender clubs, student parliaments, and participatory textbook reviews, can help challenge internalized stereotypes and open space for alternative futures. Parallel efforts to normalize non binary and transgender identities through inclusive language, representation, and anti bullying policies are equally vital to ensure that education becomes a site of emancipation rather than exclusion for gender diverse learners. Now, coming to today's case study, gender bias in social science textbooks. In India, a recent case study examined gender representation in social science textbooks used in Indian schools, employing feminist critical discourse analysis and content analysis to understand how images and narratives construct gender roles. The study analyzed visual constructs such as illustrations of families, workplaces, classrooms, and public spaces, alongside textual descriptions and exercises across multiple grades in state level textbook series. Findings showed that men were predominantly portrayed in active public roles like farmers, factory workers, political leaders, scientists, while women appeared mainly in domestic settings or in supportive occupations such as teaching, nursing, or caregiving, with limited depiction of women as decision makers or even experts. Even when women were shown in paid work, household responsibilities remained visually and textually coded as their primary obligation, thereby reinforcing the idea that girls should prioritize marriage and family over careers. The study also noted some complete erasure of transgender and non binary people, as well as minimal attention to feminist movements or legal struggles for gender equality, which restricted opportunities for critical reflection on patriarchy and resistance. Interviews with teachers revealed that many relied heavily on textbook images to initiate discussions, inadvertently reproducing the stereotypes embedded in the materials, especially when they did not receive prior training in gender sensitive pedagogy. As a result, girls in the sampled schools often reported that certain careers belonged to men and expressed limited ambitions in fields like politics, engineering, and law, mirroring the gender division of labor depicted in their textbooks. Boys, conversely, internalized ideas of leadership and authority as inherently masculine, which shaped their interactions with peers, frequently speaking over girls in class, taking control of group work, and trivializing domestic labor as non serious. In response to these findings, the researchers recommended a multi-layered strategy, revising textbook to include diverse and non-stereotypical images of all genders, incorporating stories of women and queer leaders from varied regions and communities, and embedding reflective questions that invite students to critique gender roles rather than passively observe them. They also urge state education boards and teacher education institutions to institutionalize gender sensitivity training so that educators consciously counter biases in existing materials and concrete more egalitarian classroom cultures. Taken together, the case study illustrates how curriculum bias and pedagogical practices intersect to shape gendered aspirations and learning experiences, demonstrating the urgency of intervening to the level of content, teacher preparation, and school culture to move towards substantive gender equality in classroom. Thank you.